I'm Starborn. Remember, to be a star, you have to shine your own light, follow your own path, and not worry about the darkness, because that's when stars shine brightest. Tonight's show, if you've been looking on our website, starborninstitute.org, you would know is titled Back to the Beginning. And the reason why you may be involved in going back to something this week in order to make a new beginning is because this is a wonderful time to settle old problems and to make a new start. And in order to make that new start, you may have to draw on an old dream that you had long ago that perhaps didn't quite all come true. Or it might be that you are thinking of making a new start, and you may have to draw on skills that you learned way back a long time ago. So this is a time when we need to go back to the beginning in order to gather our strength, in order to revive a dream, or in order to focus again on the things that are really important to us. But it's really a good time to do that, and that is because we can go through healing and some sort of completion right now. And so something could be winding up in your life, either by your choice or as a sequence of events that are natural, or it can simply be that conditions have changed around you and there can be a new beginning on your horizon, but it is very well aspected to succeed. And the reason why is that both love planets, Venus and Uranus, are in the sign of Aries, the sign of new beginnings. So it could be a labor of love or a hobby that you've had for a long time that you'd like to turn into a business. Well, that would be a new start, but you'd certainly be drawing on years of experience, and you'd also be reviving an old dream. So you see how those things go together? Things from the past can be brought into focus right now so that you can go forward in your future. The reason why this can be working out really well right now is not just because of the two planets in Aries, but it is because of a rare configuration among the water signs which rule our feelings. And that is because today Jupiter is at 19 degrees of Cancer, and it is exactly trining Saturn at 19 degrees of Scorpio, which is a financial sign. Together, those two planets are forming a strong trine to two other planets, the Moon and Neptune in Pisces. Pisces does rule dreams, and it rules hidden enemies or things that we've been kidding ourselves about behind the scenes that can harm us in one way or another. So that new start might be that you're deciding to turn over a new leaf right now, and that can be in order to make an old dream come true, which would be great. It's significant that Jupiter is at 19 degrees and that it is precisely trining Saturn, also at 19 degrees. Because when we reduce numbers, we add their digits. So 1 plus 9 equals 10. We have to reduce that again. 1 plus 0 equals 1. 1 is the number of Aries, it's the number of new beginnings, and both love planets are in that sign, Venus and Uranus. Venus rules touching love, and it rules two signs, Taurus, which is a financial sign, and Libra, which is the sign of partnerships, the law, and contracts. So those things are favored if you're wanting to start something new. But another reason why you can be going back to the beginning in order to start something new is because communication is so well favored right now. And that is because Mars, a very energetic planet, is in the sign of Libra, which rules partnerships and contracts and the law. And it has now gone direct. So it is going to be speeding through that sign going forward, and it's beautifully trining the Sun and Mercury in Gemini. Together, those three planets are trining the sign of Aquarius, which does rule the future. So in order to make a new start in your future, communication will have to be emphasized, and this is a time when you can say something in a short and sweet way and describe a concept and even get legal help with that, and that can be what makes a new start a reality for you. So you have all of that to look forward to, which is wonderful. It isn't that there might not be a few bumps in the road, though, or certainly some challenges. It's just that a new start is aspected to succeed anyway. And that is because there are still 5 planets in the cardinal signs. Aries is a cardinal sign, and Venus and Uranus in Aries are being opposed by that vigorous Mars in Libra right now, which is direct. So there can be people that can be all done with a partnership right now. In other words, if you are deciding that you cannot endure a partnership any longer, it's you that may be starting over, and you'd have to go through some sort of legal settlement to solve an old problem in order to make a new start. So there are people that if they've been in tense partnerships, they're giving up, and they're going to start something new without the partner. And that it isn't because they haven't tried, it's because they've sort of failed at some sort of compromise or reconciliation, and so that's over now. But it can also be that Venus and Uranus in Aries are being squared by Jupiter in Cancer, meaning that if you do make a new start, you might have to redo matters concerning your home or your family, particularly schedules. And that Venus and Uranus in Aries are being squared by Pluto in Capricorn, which means you may have to go along with new rules and regulations or some stipulations by management that can be quite challenging to you. So it's not that a new start isn't going to be facing a few bumps or a few difficulties. It is simply that it's so well aspected that I think that you're going to make it anyway, despite the challenges. And yet the reason why you can be successful is because you may be drawing on things from the past, such as skills or an old dream. Another reason why we have to go back to the beginning, actually, though, is because there are 2 planets that are sextiling each other. That's a harmonious aspect, but they are in reverse order. And that's why we have to go back to the beginning. And that is because that Saturn in Scorpio, which is beautifully trined by Jupiter, remember, and by the Moon and Neptune today, is retrograde, and it is in Scorpio, but it rules Capricorn. Saturn is the planet of time and stability. And it is in a financial sign, which means that financial matters have to be reviewed, and there may not be enough money, but that's all right. A new beginning will get underway anyway, because the money will go to the most stable and deserving. But Scorpio's rulers are Mars and Pluto. Pluto is in Capricorn. And so these 2 planets do sextile each other, but they're just in signs they don't rule. And that is because with Pluto in Capricorn, it simply means that people in positions of management will have to be making policy decisions, and they may involve some sort of legal dilemma, or they can be challenging your home life or real estate matters, or they can be challenging a new start. And so there are problems, but they're not problems that are going to stop a new start. They're just going to maybe slow it down a little bit until the problems get solved. And that's why, with a lot of emotional and some financial backing, you can make a new start right now, particularly if you draw on skills and experience that you've developed already in the past. Okay, what does this mean to all 12 of the sun signs? Well, Aries, for you, this is simply a time when I think that you're certainly going to be zooming forward, Aries, and I think it's all systems go. So you're going to be lucky in some sort of new start right now, and it can be that you have your eye on something rather expensive, and you may just want to start off in a new direction and get a better job so that you can afford more expensive things. Or it can be that a partnership is really over right now, and you may be wanting your freedom, and that could be a reason to start something new. But whatever it is that you're starting, Aries, you're going to be drawing on some past experience. You may be reviving a dream because the Moon and Neptune are right behind your sun sign, and you could be wishing to move to a different place. It might be a place that you lived in before. So you might want to move back to something. But it could be because you're getting a better job, or you have more opportunity, or the future prospects look better. So I wish you the best of luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Taurus? Well, Taurus, this is simply a time when I think that you've certainly got a lot on your mind in the background of your life, and the reason why is because both Venus and Uranus are in Aries right behind your sun sign. And so it can be you that is thinking of making a new start that involves a labor of love, or something that you're really good at, or something that you've always wanted to do, and you have been developing some sort of talent in that area. And so I think that this is going to be a rather happy time for you behind the scenes, Taurus. No, there may not be enough money. You might have to live on a reduced income in order to get a new start off the ground. But if you work hard, which is what your sign is noted for, you can be successful. And that it can be because you may be able to draw on money that has been held for a long time, perhaps in a pension fund. And if you can get your hands on that and then sort of start over, I think you'd be really happy, Taurus. So why don't you think about that a little bit, because the stars are certainly with you on that, and you could be doing things that you are very good at, that you absolutely love, and they could turn out to be financially viable for you. So you do have talent, Taurus. Just give yourself a chance now to develop it more fully. Okay, what does it mean to a Gemini? Well, Gemini, this is simply a time when you can charm the birds out of the trees, Gemini, and the reason why is because both the Sun and Mercury, your own ruler, are in your sun sign, and they are being trined well by Mars, which is now direct in Libra, and together those three planets are trining the sign of Aquarius, which rules the future. The planet that rules the future, Uranus, is in Aries along with Venus, and they sextile your Sun. So you should be looking for something new to do, Gemini, because you'd get help with that. And if there had to be some sort of legal work done, you'd get a lot of help with that. And in fact, people would be maybe pushing you to make some sort of new start right now. Or if it's being instigated by you, it could be something that you've always wanted to do and that you do know how to do already. In other words, you have a lot of experience in something, Gemini, and this is a time when you could turn a hobby into a business, or certainly apply your experience and your good problem solving to something that could be done rather easily, but only because you have a lot of experience. It couldn't be done by somebody new. And that is why people have to go back and fall back on what they already know how to do, or what they have a proven track record on, in order to succeed. So your sign is the sign of the middleman. Maybe you're going to be instrumental in bringing people together that can then eventually make a new start. And you would be rather successful at that, and you'd have very energetic partners right now, so good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Cancer? Well, a Cancer, this is certainly a time when you can be very blessed. And the reason why is I think you've got your eyes on a new start, Cancer. Whether you're really admitting that you'd like to make a new start, I mean, maybe you're being a little quiet about that, maybe you haven't talked to too many people about that, but there certainly is one aspect for you that can be very beneficial. And the reason why is that Jupiter in your sign is at 19 degrees, and it is exactly trining Saturn in Scorpio, also at 19 degrees. And remember, that number eventually reduces to a 1, which is the sign of new beginnings. If you're not thinking of making a new beginning, you are involved with someone else that would like to make a new beginning, and they are going to succeed at that, even if they don't do it your way. Remember, there are 5 planets in cardinal signs, and yours is a cardinal sign. But there are also 4 planets in the water signs, all trining each other. So you're very strong right now, Cancer, and you're very popular. This is a time when you could make a dream come true based on past skills or experience. So if there's something that you have always wanted to do, if it requires a move, the move would go very smoothly. If it requires you banding together with friends or joining with family members in order to succeed, they would be more than willing to help you out. And so if you want to move back to somewhere that you'd lived before, you could do that as well. As a new beginning is aspected for you, but it is going to be an extremely fortunate one, Cancer. And I think that you will be very happy doing something that you've always wanted to do, but it will be because of your base of experience, and certainly because you have so much emotional support right now. So I think you're going to be not just lucky, but very happy. Good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Leo? Well, Leo, remember those two love planets, Venus and Uranus, are both trining your sun, Leo, and that simply means a plum assignment or something very tantalizing that is ahead of its time and really has quite a future to it could be headed your way, Leo. And if there can be funding found or given by somebody else, that means that you'd be on the straight road to success. And that is because Jupiter is going to come into your sun sign in July, Leo. So you really better keep your eyes and ears open for new ideas that are very tantalizing and can be headed your way. So if anybody suggests anything to you that is appealing to you, that has a future to it, I hope you say yes, because you don't know where you'll end up, but it will be very good for your future. And it even could involve a love interest or certainly making new friends in different places that could be unique for you, Leo, so you would absolutely love it. If you had to pay for that yourself, I don't think this would be a good time to do that because there may not be enough money around and there still could be some bills that you, or a financial situation that you need to work out. But there is going to be something wonderful headed your way that denotes a new start. It could be a new start that draws on your previous skills, something you already know how to do. But it can be with the backing or the suggestion of somebody who really has their eye on the future and wants to include you in it. And that's why I hope you say yes. Okay, what does it mean to a Virgo? Well, Virgo, this is simply a time when people are going to be tantalized by a concept or an idea, and that's all they want to know about. After all, the Sun and the Mercury are in Gemini, and although they square your Sun, they are being trined by that dynamic Mars in Leo right now. So people are wanting to talk about ideas, and they are going to be in agreement about ideas, whereas your sign, Virgo, deals in details and facts and logic and accounting, and nobody's interested in that right now, Virgo, but you are. And so with Pluto in Capricorn trining your Sun, which denotes management in large corporations or government agencies, you are a person that really does like to stick to the rules and regulations and be held accountable for that. And so since your sign rules problem solving, and no one's even looking at the problems right now, they're just excited about a new start or the concept of one, I think that you should keep working on getting answers to questions that people have not even thought of yet. That's the way you like to work, Virgo. You like to anticipate needs and then work on solutions. You can also do that quite successfully in solitude because Virgos like their solitude. It gives them good thinking time. So I would say stick to what you do well, Virgo. And even though people are not asking you for the facts right now, I would line them up because sooner or later they will, particularly when the money comes about. In other words, if the money's not there yet, by the time it gets there, people are going to want timelines and schedules and facts and figures. And that is when you'll shine. So you could be promoted, but you really have to sort of get ready or get organized. And since you're very good at that, I'd stick to that. And don't worry about the concepts. Sooner or later, people will settle down and want just facts, and that's when you will be able to supply them. Okay, what does it mean to a Libra? Well, Libra, the big thing that you need to take into account is the fact that Mars is in your sign, which you've known for a while, but it is now direct instead of retrograde. And that simply means, since it's also trining the Sun and Mercury in Gemini, the sign of communication and change, that people who are advocating some sort of change or some sort of idea that even could be a little ahead of its time are people that could be asking you to join them, and you ought to do that, Libra. So even though Mars rules war, remember, you shouldn't go to war, you shouldn't be angry with people. But since your sign rules partnership, if there is a partnership in your life that you have tried and tried and tried to make work, and you have finally decided nothing is going to succeed, then this may be a time when you are deciding, that you are going to end a partnership. You may not end it right now, but you could be deciding to get set up for that. And that is all right, because everyone is aspected to succeed at a new start, regardless of the reason for it. And so you are going to be successful in a new start eventually, but first of all, you have to make contacts with different people and maybe even set up other kinds of partnerships or ties so that you sort of bring a whole team together. And you can do that, Libra. So use your energy on your own behalf. Don't get mad at other people. Just avoid those people if you can, and try to think about going in a new direction with other people that are excited about your ideas, because you can make very good progress toward your future right now if you want to, and you can stick with that for the rest of the year and be successful, Libra, particularly by this fall. Good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Scorpio? Well, Scorpio, this is a very beneficial time for you, and that is because Saturn is in your sign at 19 degrees, and it is trining Jupiter in Cancer, also at 19 degrees. And that simply means, since 19 does reduce to a 1, that there is a new beginning on your horizon, Scorpio, because the Moon and Neptune are in Pisces, also trining your Sun. It is just that it may be a new beginning that's been a long time coming instead. And that means that you could be drawing on something new in your future, but the reason that you are going in that direction is because of experience that you've already accumulated, or a good track record that you have, or even previous problems that you've solved. You've got that under your belt and you're ready to go on something new. So are other people. And in fact, you are very popular. You have a lot of support, particularly behind the scenes, from people that are rather quiet. You may not even realize how well supported you are right now, because there can be people that are discreetly working on your behalf without saying too much about that. And that is because the Moon and Neptune are so closely conjunct in Pisces, which rules things behind the scenes. And so this is a unique time for you to be lucky, but also for you to go ahead and move in a new direction. You could be a little tired because Saturn is still retrograde, but it goes direct in July, and then you're really going to be going forward, Scorpio. And so you have nothing to lose by trying something new right now, drawing on your past experience in order to do it. Okay, what does it mean to a Sagittarius? Well, Sagittarius, this is a wonderful time for a new start, because the love planets, Venus and Uranus, are in Aries trining your Sun. So you really could get off to a new start, and that means a sudden trip, or it means that some new start could be initiated by somebody else, not you, but you could be backing them very successfully right now. So it could be sort of a team effort, Sagittarius. And if that involves travel, which is what your sign rules, you'd love it. But it could also involve some other sort of new start that really needs to be made. Due to financial circumstances in the background of your life, it could be an additional job that you take right now, or it could be some part-time endeavor that's a labor of love, something that you know how to do and you've always been really good at, but now you can maybe turn it into something that pays as well. And you do need the money, Sagittarius. So I think it's all systems go for you. And just go forward and don't be afraid. There couldn't be a better time to make a new start than right now. Okay, what does it mean to a Capricorn? Well, Capricorn, yes, there are still 5 planets in the cardinal signs, and yours is a cardinal sign. And so that means that a new start can be fraught with challenges and difficulties. That may not stop it, but it certainly means that there can be hurdles to be overcome first. And one of them can be, remember that I said the reason we have to go back to the beginning or draw on past experience or skills that we've learned or revive an old dream, is because 2 planets are in reverse order, but they're very harmoniously aspecting each other. Pluto in your sign, which rules Scorpio, is retrograde right now. And Saturn in Scorpio, which rules your sign, it doesn't rule Scorpio, is retrograde as well. These are the only 2 retrograde planets right now. They're both going backward, and they both sextile each other, but they are in reverse order. And that is because they're not in the signs they rule, they are next door to them. And so this is a time when you may have to go back to the beginning, Capricorn. You may have to rethink how you make money or what your investments are right now. Or it can be that you're realizing there isn't enough money to do everything that you want to do, and so you may have to revise your plans. And there can be plenty of challenges, but on the other hand, Capricorn, with a lot of perseverance and with going through all the rules and regulations, you probably can succeed. And that is because everyone who's making a new start right now is sort of going to get off on the right foot. It doesn't mean they won't run into problems on the way, on their journey to the end, and you would too, but you are usually thorough and methodical. So if you just slow down right now, Capricorn, and sort of get your homework done, get things done that you should have done before, and do a little catch up right now, you can be successful in a new start too. And I would do that. I think you've been putting off something a little bit too long, and now you got to turn around and get that done. Okay, what does it mean to an Aquarian? Well, Aquarius, this is simply a time that can be wonderful for you, particularly for change and communication and new partnerships. And so I hope that you're looking forward to the future, because your ruler, Uranus, is with Venus in Aries, and those planets are sextiling your sun. But even better, your sign, which doesn't have any planets in it, is very well fortified right now. And that is because the Sun and Mercury in Gemini are trining your sign, and Mars, which is now direct in Libra, is also trining your sign. So you can pick up very energetic partners right now and resolve a legal issue which has been perhaps holding you back, and it might have been doing that for a while, but now you can find somebody that can help you resolve it. And remember, we have to settle old problems before we can make new starts, because this is a time that it can denote completion. And so you need to go ahead and complete or resolve a legal issue and get it on terms you can live with, Aquarius, because the communication is wonderful right now. There can be people that are coming to you with great new ideas, and of course, with your vision, you're exactly the right person to sort of jump on the bandwagon and go for it. And so I think this is a time when there is going to be change in your life, Aquarius, and even if it's just a little bit of change, and even if it only happens a little bit at a time, it is going to lead you forward, and that is the right direction for you to be going on. Good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Pisces? Well, Pisces, this is a golden time for you as well. And the reason why is that the moon today and Neptune are very closely conjunct in your sign. And those are two very inspirational, almost divinely inspirational planets. The moon rules our feelings, and Neptune rules our creativity and our dreams, and they are together in your sign, being trined by two other planets that are at the exact same degree. Jupiter is at 19 degrees in Cancer, and Saturn is at 19 degrees in Scorpio. And since they are exactly trining each other, they denote new beginnings because of good emotional support or empathy, or the fact that there may be some money finally around to make a dream come true. And so this is a time when you can be contemplating a move and maybe being able to afford it as well. Or soon, perhaps by July, you would be able to afford something. You could be thinking about making a dream come true, and it might be a dream you've had for a very long time, and you just were never in a position to sort of get it all together. It would involve something creative, and I think that you should go for it, Pisces. This is a time that is not going to be like any other in your life, and the reason why is that Neptune hasn't been in your sign. It's the ruler of your sign. It's very strong there, but it's never been there in your lifetime, and it's going to be there for years. And so this is when you do have to have the kind of vision where you can see down the road and you can find a way to get there, get to your final destination. So think about it, Pisces, because a new start is extremely well favored for everyone, particularly since both of the love planets, Venus and Uranus, are right ahead of your sun sign. And that's why I think you should sort of get going on something new if you can. All right, thanks so much for tuning in. I hope that you know you can subscribe to the show on our website, starborninstitute.org, and then you can see the show anytime you want at your convenience. Thank you very much. I'll see you next week. Bye.